Welcome back, Idol fans. Episode 5, getting ready for the review. And I'll tell you tonight, there's some really interesting concepts I think we're going to discuss and see. And it's the evolution. What's very interesting is this intro. Love the intro.
Alright guys, we're going to start registration right now.
Very well done. Setting the mood well. I love this part here. This is awesome. All right. The point I'm getting at is this is kind of what you need to do with the song. Okay? What they're doing is they're building the anticipation. They're creating, they're laying an expectation, and you're looking for a payoff, right? They're trying to make you get excited about something. They're making you, ooh, what's coming? Okay? That's what you need to do in a song. So let's figure this out as we go through tonight. Let's see what works, what doesn't work, what's there, what's not quite there. Because tonight's a really good night. We're going to learn a lot tonight from this review. And let's just get right into what we're going to talk about. The main thing we're going to learn about tonight is style and technique, and the balance of the two, and what we're going to see as being challenges for those that may have one but not the other. Okay, so as we go through tonight, we're going to again start to differentiate between the contestants that are likely to have a long run versus those that are probably not going to make it far, that might not even make it through Hollywood Week. Okay, now we see that this episode we're going to visit the American Idol bus. I don't know what that means exactly because the cities seem to still be a lot of the same ones. You know, Little Rock, Denver, I think they go back to Philadelphia even. So let's see what happens. And let's just look at what, again, the focus of tonight. The focus of tonight, I think, is going to be soulfulness, style, dynamics, emotional intensity, contrast. But what we're also going to see
I'm 17 years old and I'm from Baltimore.
is people lacking technique to back up the style. Now,
Seeing my sister get like all the way to the top 24.
we have
was
Poe,
great. So great.
sister of She from last year.
So happy to actually.
Poe's a dancer. Okay, now, by definition, dancers oftentimes feel music easier than some singers. So let's see if Poe, being a dancer, is able to internalize what she's trying to. Let's see how well she gets it in and how it comes out. How convincing is she?
I feel like when I walked into my audition,
That's what we want to figure out.
I just overthought it too much.
A lot of these contestants walk in and they just they don't know what the elements are they need to focus on and make sure work.
Point where I'm just Poe and that's it.
Poe's very genuine.
What is your name?
I'm Poe.
Oh, I like that.
And what I also like is that she definitely
So I just got the
convinces me she's feeling what she's singing.
So tell us a
You know,
little bit about yourself.
we've talked in the past.
Geez, sister.
We've talked in the past about one thing we notice in contestants is it seems like they're just singing, but they're not feeling what they sing. So the first thing is you got to learn how to believe and feel what you're performing. And that's what I think Poe does a great job of. So let's listen to some of her audition because we need to use hers as the basis to start to critique the ones that are going to follow her.
Once upon a time in a faraway kingdom, made up a story so that I should believe him. Go and tell you at night that he's handsome in hindsight, but I don't want the next best thing. So I
Okay, now, already I think we get an idea where she's coming from. Stylistically, I think she's really very authentic. In other words, I'm feeling what she's feeling. I believe her so far. Now, do any of you disagree? Because what we're trying to do here is figure out, is she doing what's necessary for the judges to feel, wow, this girl could blow us away? I would say she doesn't blow them away, but it seems like she's got some reserves. You know, when she goes for the big notes, the phrase sounds right. She doesn't cut it too short. You know, she doesn't let go of the emotion. She extends it. She really milks it and stretches it out. So let's figure out if that's unique. You know, how many other artists have been doing that? You know, I think last week, the Wednesday and Thursday night of last week, that was the problem, is there were too many contestants that weren't getting this emotional intensity that Poe seems to be getting. So let's see if we can show a little bit more of this.
I can't even speak. I'm so proud. Can't take no more of your fairy tale.
That was great. Okay, let me give you an example. You hear how she, you know, she held on to it and carried it to the next note. She didn't let go. And what it did, it just kept us hanging on. We wanted to hear, whoa, 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 and she just kept it going. Okay, musically, those were great moments. You know, if we take a performance and we break it down phrase by phrase, and we were to rate each section of the performance, this is what I'm talking about, where to me, those are the nines that I'm talking about. In other words, the things that are working is the emotion, the style, and the connection are all there. So the interpretation is believable, and there's power, there's energy. Listen to the vibrations. You know, this is the other thing we've talked about in the past, is the quality of the vibrations. And that's, if it's in deep, you can dig deep and it comes out with a lot of vibration. Listen to that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, this is just a piece of friendly
Okay.
advice.
Let's listen to Harry's
like,
friendly advice for a
Don't ever
second.
tell people what to think. I mean, you said negative things about yourself.
Yeah.
Like, don't say that. I actually found many of the things you did, some of the more refreshing things we've seen today. There's a certain,
really.
I don't care about your...
Okay. I agree with Harry on a lot of this. He's noticing her intuitiveness, you know, her musicality. You know, it's the stuff that she doesn't even realize she's doing right. You know, it's and this is fun to try to figure out the personality, the musical personality of these contestants by just hearing them sing a very short segment. Well, Poe's telling me that she feels the music very deeply. And that is the first thing I'm looking for in somebody that I'm going to put my confidence in, that she can have a long run in this competition. So I think she had some good technique. She had very, very good style. The feel was just spot on. You know, she was very authentic. You know, she doesn't seem like she's a studied musician. She seems really natural and genuine. And again, that's stuff that probably no one's probably taught her this stuff. This is probably just instinct. So again, is that talent? Yeah, that's talent. You know, the talent that's really cool is that which is pure osmosis. You don't know how they figured it out. They just, somehow when they listen, it sinks deeper than in a lot of people. So Poe's someone to watch. I like I think as far as maturity of sound and style, she's as, as authentic as pretty much anyone that's been on the show. Now, she's not necessarily as technically good as a lot of people. She's obviously not as experienced and seasoned. But that's what I like about her, is the rawness and the believability. So, she does have some technique issues she needs to learn, and we'll see if she can endure it. But I like her so far. All right, we're going to just skip a lot of the former Idol winners and their comments, and the episode with Clay and the guy in drag that was just ridiculous. Let's move on to somebody that actually has some talent. And what's fun about our next contestant is that she's actually got a concept of who she is musically. Here's a good example of what I'm talking about that's been missing in some of the previous contestants too, and that is there's nothing unique about them. Okay, well, that's not a problem with Amelia.
And still rocking that on stage.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey, is this the first for us? A fiddle player?
No, they've had fiddle players in the past, but here's what's cool.
10 years now.
What are you going to sing today?
I'm going to sing Many Rivers by
Another girl that's just got her own style. She's got her own, a unique vibe. I see her being an artist. Big voice. I mean, how many... Okay, I want to hear that again, because I want to point some things out. Okay, this is how you sing a lick. And one note, she does three or four little things. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I mean, there are like 4 or 5 little nuances she did on that one note. Okay, musically, that's artistry, folks. That's what these other contestants need to listen to and learn. What I'm hearing from Poe and now from Amelia is artistry. Okay, what's artistry? It's where the notes go a certain way. Da 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 da. Okay, well, she didn't sing it. She took that and just expanded it. Just put all kinds of feeling and energy in it that probably aren't in the original. And the fact that she's got that level of creativity and she can do that is very impressive to me. Now, I want to listen one more time. Listen to what she does with this note, this opening phrase. Okay, dynamics. Even that low note that didn't get there. Okay. She's got kind of a bluesy, sultry. It's kind of like Adele, but it's even like bigger than Adele, believe it or not. I mean, she's really got a lot of. It's like she knows how to hit a note and open it up. And not only does she open it, but she actually opens it and then, wow, does things with it. It's like she changes the shape of the roundness and creates some sonic things with her vocals. Again, listen to her a few times. Go listen to that audition. There's some really good things in it. So this is exactly what a lot of the other contestants are missing, okay?
Such a drag to be on your own.
The way she shapes. Okay, what she's doing also is, she's changing the shape. A lot of singers will just keep it one. And here she, it's like there's lots of movement, there's lots of shape to what she's doing. She throws it out there real big, big huge vibration, and then right when you think, whoa, she brings it back. She pulls it back. Okay, that's the ebb and flow. Inhale, exhale. The tide comes in, the tide goes out. Our heartbeat, boom, 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 boom. Okay, these are the patterns of our body, the patterns of life. We love patterns. Okay, she's making it really easy for us to breathe and feel what she's doing. I'm loving what she's doing so far. Let's see if she can keep it up.
It didn't say why. Well, I guess I have to try.
That was very beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay, she reminds me of like a very bluesy, soulful Adele meets Eva Cassidy, but she's just got a huge sound. I really like her. And I'm not worried about some of the notes that weren't square on, because again, a lot of artists don't have to be technically perfect. It's the Bruce Springsteen, the indie, the folksy, the natural artist. The ones that aren't jaded because they've had lessons since they're little kids. I'm loving this rawness of both her and the first contestant, Poe. So, let's just say these opening contestants really make tonight much more promising than I was feeling Wednesday. And even Thursday. I'm feeling more artistry. I'm feeling that Poe and Amelia both have unique elements about them that will stand out from anyone else in the contest. So I think we should keep an eye on her. Again, some of these indie artsy types don't do well in Hollywood Week or when they have to do group stuff. So again, anything could happen, but I really like her potential. If I was an A&R rep and I heard her and watched her, I would be very interested in seeing what we could do with her. I see her being a legit long-term artist that very well may be able to be rocking into her 80s. Okay, next up, we have a big personality. She seems like a fun, likable, person. She comes out. She's happy that she's from Louisiana. Now, the only problem I feel, and let me just tell you, this is another example of somebody that's good, but I can tell she's definitely not great. She's not even in the great category. She's just good. She's good for her community. And the reason I'm saying this is you'll listen, what she does is she doesn't know how to really keep her phrases connected and keep them moving. When we talked in the past about sometimes you need to know how to leave a comma instead of a period at the end of a phrase. It's not the end yet, it's just a connection to the next part of the phrase. A lot of phrases, there's an A part and a B part. There's a call and a response. And so with her, with this song, to me that, I don't know, it doesn't, she doesn't seem to put enough energy. So let's see if you agree. Here we go. First of all, weird song.
Goodbye, Joe. Me gotta go. Me oh my oh. Me gotta go. Pour the Piro down the bayou. Oh my God. My bond, sweetest one. Me oh my oh. Son of a gun, will have it fun on the bayou. Jambalaya, crawfish pie, filet gumbo.
Okay, the way she hit the word jambalaya, but the end of it she missed. She didn't hit the set. It wasn't in tune. And like I say, what's interesting is she's good, but she's not supporting her notes all the way. So again, I'm just telling you, she's not going to last very long. She's okay. She's fun. She's got a lot of personality.
I'm gonna see my Michelle me, oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all kind of in the same place, too. There's not a lot of dynamics there. She is fun, but like I say, she's not going to last long.
Your whole energy and your spirit is absolutely awesome.
So
You're just so beautiful.
let's figure out, what do we do with someone like her? Okay, should we put her through? Does she deserve to go to Hollywood Week? Realistically, if you need some bodies, why not? But there are definitely better artists. Like, I don't feel she has any artistry really yet. It's still kind of like someone that sings in the church choir, and she can sing a little bit, but you can just tell she doesn't. She's going to fall apart if she has to sing a big, like, say for example, Candace from a few years ago. She's not even close to a Candace, and Candace won the whole season, and unfortunately she wasn't really marketable for this show. You know, she's not someone that can plug into the current pop radio format. That's what I mean. I mean, with all due respect, Candace, I think she's phenomenal. I love her singing. You know, I totally respect her as a musician. She's fantastic. The problem, though, is she's not really a pop artist. She's like Melinda Doolittle. It's like, what a shame that everyone in the world should know who these women are because they're so good. So what we need to do now is figure out, you know, there's no way they're seeing her as the potential next winner of American Idol. Okay, let's go back to the agenda. Producers need bodies. Hollywood Week's feeling kind of weak based on, or let's just say previous seasons. It seemed like there were a lot more people that should have gone through. This season, like I say, I think they're just having a hard time. They don't want to miss anybody, but at the same time they're putting through people that you know don't have a chance. So this brings us to our next contestant, who I really like a lot. And matter of fact, here's another example of what we've been talking about.
That's great. What are you going to sing for us?
I actually have a medley that I kind of put together that I hope you guys like. It's a songs from each of you guys.
Okay.
Let's listen to his style
Stupid boy,
and his creativity.
you can't finish that hit. She never even knew she had a choice. That's what happened.
Okay, now let's listen to something here as we're listening to Mackenzie. Stylistically, let's compare him to, say, like an Ed Sheeran, because that's the kind of sound he's got, right? So it's really easy for us to say, oh, could this guy plug into the current market? And I would say, so far, the quality of what this guy's doing. Now, this guy's got a little bit more control of his dynamics. He's really showing a lot of contrast, even within the same phrase, like syllable to syllable. You know, I think I mentioned in the past that what's fun to do with people who just see themselves as singers is to have them feel something they haven't felt before. And something I do, like when I meet with someone new, sometimes I'll just say, okay, well, let's sing your song, and they'll sing the phrase, or they'll sing the whole song, and then we'll spend the next half hour on just the opening phrase, like the first 4 syllables, 5 syllables, because what we do is we want to balance them. We want to figure out exactly where does the energy go in this phrase, and we want to make sure we fill up all the spots properly with the right kind of feeling, the right kind of emotion. So, like, if the feeling is, I'm going to send this to you, okay, as the audience, we want to feel, wow, I felt it. He sent it to me and I felt it. Okay, he kind of telecast, showed what he was going to do, and wow, when he did it, it worked. Okay, that's what we're looking for. Then what we want to do is see, does he have the technique to back up what he's doing artistically and creatively? You know, the fact that he comes in and he's done a mashup of all of the judges and he's stylized them in a way that works. I mean, that, to me, that's what I am impressed with. That's an artist. You know, how many kids that show up for these auditions could even do that? If they were given the assignment, hey, take 3 songs and do a mashup and make them all kind of flow into each other. You don't want it to be too awkward. That would be very difficult for most people to do. Okay, so this guy is more of a musician. Let's see how much depth he has. First impression, I really like what he's doing.
It's when the only voice she hears, telling her she can't. Stupid boy, come by me, come love with me, baby. Maybe we could run away. Oh, come by me, come love with me, baby. Maybe we could.
Okay, we've got a little Jason Mraz, Ed Sheeran thing going here.
All that matters is that you treat me right.
Nice sound.
Give me all the things I need that money can buy.
Very commercial.
You gotta keep me as you do. I'm gonna spend your cash, I don't. Even if you broke my love, don't cost a fee.
Okay, very creative, and it works.
And I'm gonna love you.
He's good at
like
contrast.
nobody
Dynamic
loves
contrast.
you. And I'll learn you trust making memories of.
He understands dynamics from syllable to syllable.
I like that.
A lot of contrast.
First
A
of
lot
all,
of
I gotta say
contrast.
this.
So
You're
I
a
like
smart
this guy a
son.
lot. I really like this
I
guy.
thought it was charming. It was really sweet.
Thank you very much.
You have a sort of quiet
So
thing about you.
here's the
that,
thing. He's
was very interesting to watch.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, I like the
okay. Mackenzie does have a subtlety to his artistry, meaning it's not super loud. You know, what was interesting is if you look at his dynamic range, he kept it in the soft to medium. He didn't go into the loud at all, really. He maybe got over medium just once or twice. He kept it in that soft to medium range. So it was almost like it made you kind of sit up and want to pay attention. Okay, a lot of artists are like that, where it's not like, okay, I'm gonna just give you both barrels. It's more, I hope you're listening, because if you're not, you might miss something. And what I feel is Mackenzie offered up a lot to listen to. He gave us a lot that we could get something out of. You know, and that's kind of what I'm liking about tonight so far. Other than, of all people, Joy Dove, who I thought would be better, but she just wasn't, like I say, she doesn't have the depth or the artistry that these other contestants have had so far. Poe, Amelia, and now Mackenzie. So, hey, I feel this is the complete opposite of last Wednesday in Philadelphia. Okay, to me. Even CJ, remember from last Wednesday, who was so impressive, there's still something that tonight's contestants have that CJ doesn't have. And I think CJ might have it in him, but he's going to have to dig deeper than I think he's used to digging. He's going to need to discover, you know, again, I know CJ's really a hard worker and very motivated in that, but I still feel he's got more in him that he hasn't discovered yet. If that's a bold statement. You know, there's more depth in him. I want to hear it before I believe he's got a legitimate shot at a huge career and isn't just going to be a guy that has to hustle the rest of his musical career. Okay, Mackenzie, I see some uniqueness. Even though, yes, he sounds like a lot of other guys on the radio, he's creative. The fact that for his opening audition, he's already showing that level of creativity and artistry, he's someone I want to keep an eye on. I like him. I hope he does well. All right. Okay. Now let's just skip the brothers. I hope no one's offended that I don't have any comments, but let's just not waste our time. Okay. Nice, nerdy, geeky guys, but they just had no talent. Let's just not even spend any time on them. Okay. That brings us to our next contestant, who actually does have some talent. And in addition to having talent, Jenna Renee, she appears to be somebody that people may be familiar with. She's evidently been on some other shows like America's Got Talent and X Factor, one of those. But the point is, let's see if she continues to follow the theme of the night, which is artistry and talent. Let's see if she has technique. What we want to do is rate the quality of her phrases
I wanted to audition for
from a
American
5
Idol
to a
since
10.
I was 15 years old, since I watched Kelly Clarkson win. This has been a long time coming,
And
but
so,
I feel like this is it. Like, I feel really good about it.
what I know from her is
So sorry. I break things. It was nice.
she does have a lot of artistry, but she misses a lot of notes. So listen how out of tune some of them get.
She don't love you, she's just lonely.
Beautiful.
She was once upon a time.
She missed that one bad.
She used to dance when the band played.
She's missing the center of the pitch on that.
She used to be the trusting kind.
She's not quite there.
Don't forgive her if she's distant.
Great emotion.
She can't tell her heart to lie.
Great artistry.
Never be who one and only.
Pitchy, way sharp.
She don't love you, she's just lonely. Oh, she's just lonely.
Real sharp.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
She was flat a
Jenna,
couple
I think
times,
you're
but
a very
really sharp a
soulful,
bunch of other
young
times.
woman. And I
That's her
love
biggest challenge,
Oh,
though.
thank
Really
you very
good.
much. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Smart
Yeah,
guy.
I feel like of a lot of the people that have come in today, we haven't felt like a performer, somebody who can really feeling the lyrics and giving us that whole package.
Okay,
And I
she's
felt like
right.
you did.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
It's funny.
The only
it's
problem,
in my
though-
ear, you don't sound like you grew up singing country. It sounds like you grew up with other music. What music was?
Okay, I mean, to me, this is very indie with some country, taint of country, but not much. The main thing about her, though, again, is she doesn't have her awareness of where her pitch is. You know, we need to figure out if her ear is good enough to autocorrect as we move along, because she can't do this kind of song every week. There's a time when she's going to have to sing a song where it's all about control, and what I just heard, she doesn't have the technique. She's got some great artistry, but boy, she needs to really just become more aware. Again, this is fixable stuff, but we need to figure out what she's missing. Why is she letting some of those notes get so out of tune? And the fact that some were real sharp and a couple were flat, I'm worried about her, even though I like her. So here's what's interesting. Some of those moments were 9s, 8.5s to 9s emotionally. But technique-wise, it took away, and so it's like, wow, it's just borderline. It was really good, but maybe it's a 7.5. It's not really in that 8 category, and definitely not a 9, because there were a lot of flaws and imperfections. So again, is this the bookend for Kelly to close out Idol? Artistically, there are better people. You know, I think some of the people tonight, even though so far, now we've got 4 contestants that are all very similar. They're all very artsy. There's a believability. They're connecting with their vehicle, their song. But we're seeing some flaws here. So how long can she go? I'm not sure. Okay, now our next contestant is a very interesting case study. And the reason is nothing unexpected that he's blind and feels that he's got potential to be a singer. And he seems to have a lot of confidence. He's got some personality. He seems to think he can dance. He can do, ride a bike. He seems to have had a fairly normal life, even though he seems to have some obvious bitterness and sadness about being blind. But it seems like he's trying to find the best, make the best of it. So the sad thing here is there was a high expectation that this guy was going to kill it. And he said he was going to. So let's see what happens here. Because
feeling transcendent.
This was actually, to
Music
me,
is a language I
a
understand, and I'm
letdown.
convinced that music has healing powers. That sounds corny, but it's really what I believe. When I walk
I like
into
what
the
he's
room
saying.
today,
So far, this
I'm
guy,
going to slay it.
okay, he's creating an expectation, right? But I don't know what it is about Philadelphia, another Philadelphia contestant.
I am fantastic.
So what is it
My
about
name is
Philadelphia?
Mario Bonds. I'm a sexy black boy from
My
the East.
city, the city
I
of
love
brotherly
to sing
love.
and dance, and I know dancing
But for
is
some
usually
reason,
something that
boy,
you,
they just
put in
didn't
the
deliver
same
this
phrase to a
season.
Totally blonde person, but I'll burn up the stage.
All right.
I was born with a
Okay, this
degenerative
guy
eye
sounds
condition that
great.
caused me to go blind by the
We
age
think
of
he's
10.
going to be
And then
good,
before the age
right?
of 10, I
We're
was
all
riding
thinking,
bikes,
hey, Ray Charles,
getting
Stevie
in
Wonder,
fights.
maybe.
Naturally, after I went blind, I was pissed.
But
So I was
instead,
very rebellious. They tried to institutionalize
he
me
picks a
into lot of
strange
stuff, but
song.
My grandmother,
Whitney,
who is here,
or excuse me,
she
not
is
Whitney,
responsible
Natalie
for the reason
Cole,
why people never know I'm blind.
Inseparable.
I forget I'm blind a lot.
Again, it's here's what's weird. Here's a perfect example of as an artist, as a musician, as a performer. If anything, you want to underplay what you say you're going to do. You know, there's a concept that they talk about. You don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. You want to underpromise and overdeliver. Okay, you know, I've talked about a concept that I believe in for auditions, and that is the blowaway factor. You need to blow them away. Well, one of the ways you blow them away is you come in and you don't talk about how great you are. You need to catch them off guard. You want to surprise them. You know, that's one thing David did. Usually, David doesn't look like someone that comes across as someone that's all cocky and arrogant. You know, he's a genuinely humble kid. And this is how, you know, if you're humble and you overdeliver, that's one thing. But if you come in and you talk up like you're going to be great, well, then you've got to absolutely blow them away. Because not only have you gone in with a little bit lack of humility, but you've actually told them you're going to kill, you're going to slay, you're going to do this and that. So you've got to blow them away at this point. Does the guy blow them away?
That's how we'll always be inseparable.
That was okay, that part, but
Bring out the man in me with your style of love. Inseparable. Yes, we are. See, we like the flowers of a tree. See, the words to a melody of.
See, here's what's weird. Okay, this is a perfect example, believe it or not, of somebody who's not listening deep enough. Can you tell it's like he's trying to extract out of him more than is there. It's the opposite of what we've been hearing from these other contestants so far tonight. Especially, let's use Poe as an example. Or Amelia. Okay, this guy's acting like he's extracting all this stuff, but there's no vibration. You know, it's about the frequency. It's the intensity of the vibrations that creates the energy. Well, this guy, there's like, instead of an intense vibration, it's like, but, or nothing. There's no edge. You know, the edge is where the vibration creates. You got to lean into it, give it some grit. You know, that's what the soulfulness, it's where you're connecting with your heart. I hate to say it, but boy, I really expected some heart out of this guy, and I'm just not feeling it so far.
And there is no way we can break up. Hear me say words that can make us.
See, okay, what he just did, there's no words that can make up. The way he did it. See, here's an example. He hit the right notes, but the energy level, the intensity, he didn't like lift it up and throw it at us and then take it back. It never got off the ground for some reason. Okay, see, again, listen to it a couple times. Open up another window on your computer and type in American Idols, this episode. Pull up, see if you can get a list of all the other contestants, or if maybe they're there. I don't know what's showing up today. But the whole idea is, what might be fun is for you to be able to have in another window while you're listening to this review, so you can really dial into this. Part of this is fun, but part of this also is to help you understand how to listen better. I'm hoping that whether you're an audience member or you're someone who's an artist yourself or an aspiring artist, that these things I'm saying are meant to help just trigger a greater awareness of what we're trying to accomplish as musicians when we're telling our stories, when we're performing. Because the whole idea is we want that feeling that, we're creating energy. That's what we're doing. Sound creates waves. That's energy. And if you organize your sounds properly and support it so it can carry through and you don't let out the air too early, it's going to be a wonderful experience for the listener. Okay, we want this singer, this guy, I wish he could do that, but he just doesn't get there.
Inseparable.
See, weird. That's really it's almost creepy because
I really liked the live.
he wanted to get there so much, but it just doesn't get there.
Because you deserve that. I love it.
I'm glad the judges are honest here.
But
they're not following their cue
just
cards.
Back and forth, like there was part, and I said it to Harry while you were singing. I was like, there's parts of it that I really love and I really was drawn into, and then there was parts of it that really took me out of the performance.
Mario, your spirit is so strong. The whole room can feel it right now. You're a powerful presence. And although I think you have talent as a singer, I don't think it's specifically what I'm looking for. There were times when certain things like your vibrato and your tone were very appealing, but as a whole performance, I didn't hear what I would have liked to have heard today.
I think we're all sharing the same
Everybody's being
feeling.
general. They're not being as
I love
detailed
you
and
as a person.
specific.
You have such a great light, a great energy.
But they're basically saying what I'm saying,
spirit,
okay?
And I so see the love that you have for this and the want
So,
for this. I get all of that.
We're just going to have to feel bad for this guy because I think we all wanted him to do well. And hopefully he won't be offended. He can look at this as a learning opportunity and he can go back and find someone that can mentor him stronger. Now, one thing is, it would be hard if I was working with a blind guy to tell him that he didn't sound very good. I'd feel guilty criticizing him. And again, I'm not criticizing, I'm critiquing, but people feel it's criticizing when you're trying to point something out that they need to improve on if they are not aware of it themselves yet. So this guy, I think he might have just had too many people that his ears weren't good enough telling him he was better than he was, and so he's kind of had an unrealistic self-image of him musically. So again, we need to help him just grow his ability to listen deeper so the music gets in deeper, so when he is trying to extract those moments that he thinks he's creating, that there will actually be more to back it up. Hope that makes sense. Okay. Now, with that being said, I find it interesting that tonight, have you noticed the judges aren't just looking at their notes? Last week in Philadelphia, I think because there were so few good contestants, the coaches needed help knowing that the producers did want a bunch of people to go through that weren't qualified, but they just needed body count, I guess. So with that being said, it's interesting that tonight the judges seem to be giving a little bit more genuine comments. They don't seem to be referring to notes. They're just listening and then saying what they feel. So again, it's just fun to kind of know that the producers do tell the judges sometimes and sometimes they don't. All right, our next contestant, someone we've seen before from last season, and yeah, I didn't recognize him. I wouldn't have known it was the same guy.
I kind of
But
do.
the important thing is, this guy's good.
I love your voice.
Thank you so
I
much.
love your artistry.
Thank you.
I really like
Yep.
Yeah, I loved everything.
There's
Come on.
Okay, one thing I want to mention before he sings. We've talked about depth of musicianship and depth of artistry. What we've heard tonight were a lot of kind of in the making. They're developing artists. You know, Poe, in some ways, might have had the most mature sound. Amelia, huge, big, cool sound. I think she might have the most potential of anybody so far. The guy, Malcolm? Uh-oh, forgot his name. Let me get back to his name. Just 1 second here. Mackenzie. Sorry, Mackenzie. He's got artistry. It's very young. Okay, so let's contrast this this Adam Lasher, I think that's his name. Let's contrast him to who we've listened to tonight. And again, what I think we're going to see is much more seasoned musicianship.
What you gonna sing this time?
Let's see. I got a kind of a samba version of "Knocking on Heaven's Door."
Okay.
Okay. Here
Creativity, interesting arrangement, non-traditional.
Mama, take that badge off for me.
I came back to American Idol again because I wanted to show what I'm capable of. It's one thing to be good and sound good, but it's another to really connect with who you're singing to, and I think I have a second chance to do it, and I want to show the judges what I can be at 100%. So that's my goal now, is to not give them any reason to let me go.
The long black cloud is coming down, like I'm at heaven's door. Knocking on heaven's door.
He's just got a seasoned sound to him. You know,
we like you. I like.
He seems like he's been a lifelong musician, and the level of his polish, you know, he's polished. He's got finesse. You know, this guy's definitely I'd call him a ringer, okay? He's someone that, you know, has been around really high-level music, and boy, he seems very ready. Now, having said that, last year he may have just miscalculated. He may have thought, you know what, hey, this is probably what I need to do to have the best chance of making it through. And again, he may have the same problem I see with a lot of contestants, and that is they're trying to be something rather than figure out who they already are. And that's kind of, you know what, that's actually something you kind of leapfrog. You go, that might be like phases that you go through in your progress, because there's times when you feel you've got yourself figured out, then there's times you feel like, uh-oh, I've gotten into kind of a comfort zone, and you got to figure out how to break out of it or reinvent something about yourself. So I think that's what Adam's going through, and he's hoping that this pass
I like you.
is better than last
I
time.
like all three of you.
Thank you.
So
You have a really nice sound.
he's
to your
amazing.
voice. I really do like it.
I thought that was a terrific rendition of that. Sometimes people rearrange songs, like they'll take a fast song. and do
his
it
worked
slow.
really
That's like
well.
the
It was
common
very
one to
cool.
do. But I thought it was a nice job. You look great. It sounded good. I see why you went to
What
Hollywood last
I
time.
do want to say,
I
though,
really like your voice a lot.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
is, again, he might stand out. He's kind of like the season David was on. There was a Michael Johns, you know, who unfortunately passed away last year. And the thing about him, though, is Michael Johns seemed like he was already like he'd lived a lifetime as a musician. And what was funny is David was 16, Michael Johns was 28. So he had 12 years on David as far as experience, and he'd been out in bands, in front of bands, and done Led Zeppelin and Aerosmith type stuff. Well, his musicianship and skill set just was beyond question. He was amazing. But the problem was, who's the audience for American Idol? You know, he got voted out way early on. I mean, a lot of people thought he was going to win the whole thing. And so it was really kind of strange that he went out so early. But a lot of it has that overconfidence, and they're too good. You know, they know too much. They're too polished. They sound like they're a professional rock singer. And so the problem with that is, again, it's kind of like the likability factor. The Blake Lewis, the CJ from this season, they're almost too good when they start, and they come across as being overly confident rather than just humble and, wow, I don't know if I'm any good. I just hope I'm just here to have fun. I hope, you know, versus, this season I've decided to try this image, and I'm doing this, calculated arrangement of a really strange song, samba style. Let's hope that he's not overthinking and he makes this too intellectual. And as such, his rawness and naturalness are hidden. Because like if there's too much polish, if you're too prepared, then it comes across as kind of canned. It doesn't have the openings for you to just feel the organic elements. All right, brings us to our last contestant and the final of my review for this evening. So let's also revisit somebody that we've seen before. This is somebody we saw last year. I liked her. I thought she was really
Last year
good.
I auditioned for American Idol.
Emily, you're great. Thank you.
15 years old, young.
Like, so excited to be here. All of you are going through the next round.
She gets cut in Hollywood Week.
After the House of Blues.
Or House of Blues round, sorry, but Hollywood Week, I
Emily,
guess.
unfortunately, you did not make it through this year.
So,
you're 15 and
she
you're
comes back a
talented,
year later.
and we hope to
Has
see
she
you again.
improved? And if she has she improved enough? That is the question. She wasn't quite there now. Is she now? Is she just a little better, or is she like where she needs to be? That's what we want to know.
I'm gonna sing "Careless" by Ray Lynn.
A relationship is a 50-50 thing. I don't wanna be the girl always giving in to your single same. It's a daily drain, a winning honey ring. It's just a losing game. I don't wanna pick up, and I pick up. I don't wanna give up. Should I give up? Just a chase of Tom and Jerry race. Will it ever change? I'll bet if I turn this heart on, baby, you would turn you on.
Her guitar's out of tune really bad.
Till you be one of my best friends gone. Bet you be on your knees on that boy for second lost. For slam that door. Maybe give a careless, maybe give a careless. You will care.
She's not ready yet. She's still not ready.
Yeah.
Excellent, Maddie.
Hey, you guys so much better.
Yeah.
You really.
Okay, let me just say the judges they're missing some things on her. Okay, she is really good, but she overdid it. That was way overproduced. There was way too much going on. She's trying to fit too many embellishments, and as such, it didn't give time for the ones that were working to sink in. Okay, it was too busy. She needed to simplify and leave off a couple things so that some of those things could sink in. Now, why do I know this? Because I'm guilty of the same thing. There were times when I did arrangements in the past, and even some of David's, we put too many licks. We didn't need to put so many. I've become more sensitive and aware, and so hopefully as I move forward, helping people do arrangements and choreographing their songs, that I won't make those same mistakes again. But again, she's really good. She is really young, and she's over-rehearsed. I'm not feeling, believe it or not, I feel her less. I think she should have been the opening contestant, and Poe should have been the last one. I think Poe's way better than this girl, because Poe's organic and natural. This girl has organic elements in her, but she tried to cram too much into too little space, and as such, it was overdone, and I felt overwhelmed, and it was just too much. So I don't think artistically she has settled in yet well enough to be able to go far. Even if she makes it to the top 24, she's not going to go very far. I can just tell you. So, with that being said, that should be a pretty close to a wrap. And we now have one episode left of Auditions tomorrow. It should be another 2-hour episode. And again, this is a little bit longer than I expected for an hour show, but again, I'm just trying to give you as many details as you can to help you raise your awareness. Get your ears, educate your ears, help you know what to listen to, and by doing that, it's going to help you enjoy what you listen to more. It'll help you understand when someone does get there, and you'll savor and appreciate it more. And when people don't quite get there, you'll start to understand some of these little nuances, what's missing. So again, thank you for your support, thank you for listening, and look forward to seeing you next time.